my name is Miss Sarah. I'm a registered English teacher in Hong Kong. Welcome back to my channel. Do you know how many tenses are there in English? Can you tell them apart? Do you know when to use which tense? If you're not sure to any of these questions, this video is for you. Make sure you watch it till the end.
I'm a student in the Why Not Academy. This school's brand new and very different from other schools. One of the many differences is students here say, sure, why not, all the time.
We use simple present tense to talk about general truths and habits. Caden is a student at the Why Not Academy. It's a general truth. That's why he used simple present tense when he talks about the school. For example, I am a student in the Why Not Academy. This school is brand new. Students here say, sure, why not, all the time.
Like yesterday in science class, Dr. Memory told me to do an experiment from the class. I didn't want to, but I remembered we have to say, sure, why not? So I did. Though it was hard, but I finished the experiment. Hey, I didn't burn down school.
We use simple past tense to talk about things that happened in the past. Like in the science lesson yesterday. Here, Caden used simple past tense to talk about what happened to him yesterday. For example, Dr. Membry told him to do an experiment. He didn't want to do the experiment. It was hard, but he finished the experiment. He didn't burn the school down. What an achievement.
After the lesson, I was telling my friend what happened in class. He was laughing at me, saying I was being such a chicken.
What a chicken.
Gosh.
Here, Caden used the past continuous tense to talk about what he was doing in the past. We use past continuous tense to describe an action that began in the past and continued for a short period of time. Like, he was telling his friends what happened in class. His friend was laughing at him.
I'm telling you, that's what happened. Why are you laughing at me?
I'm sorry, dude. Chillax. Look, you're doing great. I see you're trying very hard to say sure, why not every time you get to do something. Are we cool?
Similar to the past continuous tense, the present continuous tense is used to talk about an action that is happening right now for a short period of time. Here, Caden is talking to his friend. These actions are happening right now at this moment, so he can use the present continuous tense. For example, I am telling you what happened. Why are you laughing at me? You are doing great. You are trying very hard to say sure, why not?
My school life here at the Academy has been great so far. For the past 3 months here in Why Not Academy, I have noticed things have changed for me and around me.
We use present perfect tense to describe an action that started in the past and continues to the present. Here, Caden describes his school life since he first joined up till now. My school life has been great. I have noticed things have changed for me.
I have been gaining more and more self-confidence. I've been going on adventures, I've been taking more initiative and joining different activities. Though I have been enjoying my time at the Academy so far, there's one thing that I still couldn't get my head around, and that is the Chinese lesson.
Remember the present perfect tense we just talked about? Present perfect continuous tense puts the emphasis on the duration of the action. So if something happened in the past and continues to the present, and you want to stress that it's been a period of time, then we can use the present perfect continuous tense. For example, I have been gaining self-confidence. I have been going on adventures. I have been taking more initiatives.
I had studied Chinese in kindergarten in the UK for 2 years. Let's just say I hadn't found the joy of studying this subject, and every homework I had to do had given me major headaches, if not nightmares.
Now, the past perfect tense is used when an action happened before a specific time in the past, like when he was in kindergarten for 2 years. For example, Caden had studied Chinese in kindergarten, which means he is no longer studying Chinese now. The Chinese homework had given him headaches and nightmares, but he no longer has headaches and nightmares now.
I've been avoiding it for a very long time. My parents have been telling me how important it is to speak a second language. All these years I've been turning a blind eye to this problem.
We use past perfect continuous to show that something started in the past and continued up until another time in the past. Remember, every time you see the continuous tense, it just means the emphasis is put on a period of time. In other words, the action has started and continued for a period of time and finished also in the past. Here, Caden described what he had been doing when he was learning Chinese in kindergarten. So in that period of time, he had been avoiding Chinese, and that he had been turning the blind eye to this problem.
Yo, what's up, mate? We're going to Miss Sarah's house tomorrow to celebrate her birthday. Will you join us? We'll set off after lunch at 1 p.m. tomorrow.
Sure, why not? Will there be a spare seat in the car?
Okay, now moving on to the future tenses. We use simple future tense to talk about action that will happen in the future. Here, the students are planning to go to Miss Sarah's house for a birthday celebration, so the students use simple future tense in the conversation. For example, will you join us? We will set off after lunch at 1 o'clock. Will there be a spare seat? Another example here, we are going to Miss Sarah's house. Don't be confused this are going as the present continuous tense. Here, be going to. For example, like he is going to, she's going to, they are going to. It's commonly used in informal styles to talk about future plans and intentions.
Sure, my mom will be driving tomorrow. She'll be happy seeing you again.
We use future continuous tense to talk about action that will happen in the future and continue for an expected length of time. My mom will be driving tomorrow. Yeah, for 2 hours.
By the way, it's a 2-hour drive, so we will have arrived before the party at 3 p.m.
We use the future perfect tense to talk about action that will be complete before a specific time in the future. In other words, the action must have a deadline. Here, we will have arrived at 3 p.m. before the party.
It was a great party. I talked to Miss Sarah about my Chinese problem. And one thing she told me that I couldn't forget was, she said,
If you hadn't given up learning a second language in kindergarten, you will have been learning Chinese for 7 years.
We use future perfect continuous to show that an action will continue up until a particular time in the future. Here, Miss Sarah is talking to the kindergarten Caden and projecting him forward in time. So if Caden hadn't stopped learning Chinese since kindergarten, fast forward to the future when he gets to secondary 1, then he will have been learning Chinese for 7 years.
yeah, why did I waste all this time? If I hadn't given up 7 years ago, maybe I would have been able to speak Chinese now.
Okay, this is the bonus part. Here, Caden used type 3 conditional sentence to talk about a hypothetical situation. For example, if he hadn't given up 7 years ago, he would have been able to speak Chinese now.
I should really say sure, why not from now on. No more excuses.
I hope you guys enjoyed this story where we try to fit in all 12 tenses. To better understand about tenses in English, you have to have a context. In other words, a solid time frame or a reference to a particular context. Otherwise, it will be quite difficult to wrap your head around when to use which tenses. And most of the time, authentic English texts tend to mix and mingle all sorts of tenses in a passage. Last thing, tenses are used to help you understand exactly what message the author was trying to convey. If you find this video helpful, make sure you give me a thumbs up, share it, be sure to subscribe, and I hope to see you guys in the next one.
Chinese. I can't stop thinking about the
2 years.
I had studied Chinese.
What's wrong with that?
I had study. Oh, for God's sake, I had study. Why is it so hard? I had study. Had.
Miss Dr. Memory told me to do it. I don't know.
Look, you're doing great. I see you're trying very hard to say sure, why not? All right, are we cool?
No.
Are we cool? You're supposed to clap my hand.
Oh, yeah.